folks, let's take a look at number 16. So we're being asked to find the VAs and the wholes of this rational function. Keep in mind, vertical asymptotes, they occur when only the denominator is 0, right? And wholes occur when the numerator and denominator are both 0 at the same time. Or another way of saying that is we're going to factor this in a moment. Any factor that is only in the denominator will be a vertical asymptote. And any factor that is in both the numerator and denominator, that's where the whole will live. So let me go ahead and factor this rational function. All right, so two numbers that multiply to positive 2 but add to negative 3 are minus 2 and minus 1. This is a difference of squares, so we've got x minus 2, x plus 2. So if we take a look, I do have a whole at x equaling 2. Right, so if I start to look at this, if I take note that I have the whole at x equaling 2, A is ruled out because there is a whole. B is ruled out because the whole is not at negative 2, it's at positive 2 because positive 2 zeroes out the denominator and the numerator at the same time. So this is not it. But I do have to decide, it looks like I have a whole possibly at 2 comma 1/4. We'll talk about that in a moment. And I need to decide, do I have a whole or an asymptote at negative 2? All right, so let's finish off with the whole. So if my whole occurs at x equaling 2, and I want to find this y value, what I would do is I would let h of x approximately be x minus 1 over x plus 2. And I say approximate because I would cancel this common factor, and what would be left is x minus 1 over x plus 2. And this function and this function look exactly the same, except there's a whole here. So we're going to see what the y value should have been. So h of 2 would have approximately been 2 minus 1 over 2 plus 2. 2 minus 1 is 1. 2 plus 2 is 4. So my whole is at 2 1/4. So that is consistent in both of those, which I could have seen on site. They had the same whole, so that wasn't going to be the issue. Now I got to decide what's going on at negative 2. And if I look at x equaling negative 2, if we look at that factor of x plus 2, because that's where the negative 2 is coming from, that factor is only in the denominator. Only the denominator zeroes out when x is negative 2. Because if x is negative 2, the denominator goes to 0, but the numerator does not go to 0. The numerator goes to something, whatever negative 2 minus 2 would be what, negative 4? Negative 2 minus 1 would be negative 3. So the numerator is actually positive 12 when the denominator is 0, right? If I was going to plug in x equaling negative 2, I get a 12 in the numerator, a 0 in the denominator. My denominator only zeroed out, so I have a vertical asymptote at x equaling negative 2. So that makes C my answer. All right, thanks so much. Bye.